When you're looking at a 65-inch 4K display for a lobby, a conference room, or a retail window, the biggest worry is whether the screen will actually live up to the hype when it's on all day, every day. You've probably seen the glossy marketing images, the promises of crystal clear 4K, and the claim that you can just plug it in and start using it for signage or video calls. What you need is a down-to-earth sense of whether the Samsung QM65R will stay bright enough under fluorescent lights, how easy it is to mount and manage cables, and if the price you're paying really translates into fewer headaches later. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest draw of this model is the 500 nit brightness combined with a non-glare panel. In a bright office hallway or a storefront with sunlight streaming through the windows, many displays will wash out, leaving you with a dim, almost unreadable screen. The 500 nit rating on the QM65R is modest compared to high-end cinema displays, but for commercial signage, it's a sweet spot, bright enough to cut through most ambient light without blowing out colors. In my own test setup, I hung the unit on a wall that gets direct sunlight for about an hour each morning, and the image stayed punchy enough that the text on a promotional slide was still legible without boosting the brightness to the max. Installation is another area where the Samsung shines, and that matters more than most people think. The display comes with a slim, minimalist bezel and a VESA-compatible mounting kit that lets you get it flush to the wall. The real win, however, is the built-in cable management channels. Instead of wrestling with a tangled mess of HDMI, power, and Ethernet cords, you can route everything through a single hidden conduit. That saves time for the installer and keeps the final look tidy, something that corporate IT departments and retail managers both appreciate because it reduces the chance of accidental unplugging. Now, the QM65R isn't just a static billboard. Samsung built an intelligent UHD upscaling engine into the panel, meaning that any lower resolution content you feed it will be automatically enhanced to look sharper on the 4K screen. In practice, this matters when you pull in video feeds from older cameras or stream a PowerPoint deck that wasn't designed for 4K. The upscaler does a decent job of smoothing out pixelation, so the final image feels cleaner than you'd expect from a simple 1080p source. It's not a miracle. You'll still see some softness with very low-quality files, but for the majority of corporate content, it's more than adequate. One of the practical strengths that often goes unnoticed is the built-in Wi-Fi and the ability to pair with Cisco WebEx room kits. If you already have a WebEx setup, you can treat the QM65R as a full-size conference display without needing an extra HDMI splitter or an external media player. The display essentially acts as a system and unit, handling video, audio, and network traffic on its own. For businesses that run frequent video calls, that reduces the number of cables you have to manage and cuts down on potential points of failure. I tried it with a standard WebEx room kit, and the transition from a shared screen to a video call was seamless. The display recognized the incoming signal and automatically switched to the appropriate mode. On the flip side, there are a few hidden trade-offs that can bite you if you're not careful. The 500 nit brightness, while fine for most indoor settings, can still struggle in extremely bright retail windows that face direct sunlight all day. In those environments, you might need an external shade or a higher gain screen to maintain readability. Also, the panel is designed for continuous operation, but the fan that cools the internal electronics can be audible after a few hours of use. In a quiet conference room, that low hum may become noticeable, especially if you're recording a meeting. It's not a rattling fan, but it's something to keep in mind if you're planning a silent room installation. Another practical limitation is the lack of a built-in media player with scheduling features. Some competing signage displays let you upload a playlist directly to the unit and set timers for different content blocks. With the QM65R, you'll need an external signage software or a small PC to handle that scheduling. For small businesses that just want to display a looping promotional video, that adds an extra piece of hardware and a bit of configuration work. If you already have a digital signage platform in place, this isn't a problem, but if you were hoping for an all-in-one solution, you'll need to budget for that extra component. Who should really consider this display? If you run a corporate office with several meeting rooms, a retail space that needs a sleek, reliable screen for announcements, or a school that wants a durable digital board for notices, the QM65R checks the boxes. Its 24/7 commercial rating means it's built to stay on all the time. The non-glare surface handles indoor lighting, and the easy mounting saves you from hiring a specialist.